What gives a melody its power? Maybe it's the culmination of each note's relationship to each other, both in pitch and rhythm. Or it's how it's harmonized, with supporting notes that adds the emotional color to the melody. It could also be the rhythm, and how steady or syncopated it is in any given moment. These and many more elements can be factored in to answer the question, all of which I'll touch on as we take a look at the Song of Healing and where the melody comes from. While these are the pieces and parts that make up great melodies, there's another thing that answers the question more directly, and that is the association between the melody and the experience it's attached to. Music has the ability to communicate a ton of information to the listener very quickly, especially when it's connected well to a story using things like leitmotif. And this is where I believe a melody really finds its greatest resonance and strength. For example, think about the songs that you felt connected to most. Many of those songs are most likely attached to an event or a time frame in your life where that song spoke to something you were going through, or the sound fit perfectly the mood you were sitting in. While the melodies of those songs were wonderful on their own, they were greatly enhanced and voted up your own personal top 100 Billboard charts by the association with events, people, and places you experienced in your life. The Song of Healing is one of those melodies that is really ear-catching the first time you hear it, and each time it's played throughout the adventure of Majora's Mask, you can't help but build a deeper appreciation and connection to it, due to the weight of the moments it accompanies. This connection is even deeper as it has an air of familiarity already present. The first 6 notes of it, the only notes you can play on an ocarina, are the same 6 notes from the Lost Woods theme, just played in reverse. In this way, you could say that it is a reharmonization. Koji Kondo flips the melody in reverse, slows it down from 2/4 to 3/4, and then adds a slower arpeggiated minor chordal harmonization to the melody to turn it into a more somber piece of music. It even has a similar structure, where the start has the main theme, and then the second section has a quality of building up to some climax, and then the third section reaches that climax and jumps right back into the main theme. The difference in feel is that the Lost Woods theme feels like it's getting brighter and more joyous, whereas the return to the melody in the Song of Healing feels like it's trying to reach for the top of the mountain, but falls back down into sadness. Let us dive a tad bit deeper, shall we, into the awesome implications of the usage of such a device. A leitmotif is a melodic passage or phrase that's associated with a character, situation, or element. When you hear a melody that is being used as leitmotif, it has the power to then communicate a whole lot about a scene and bring back memories of a character or situations within a couple of notes. It's no surprise then that these two melodies, based upon the same musical idea, can be viewed with the same lens to get a deeper view into the story in which they are a part of. The Legend of Zelda games are infamous for using music magically as a tool for Link to use throughout his quest. The power of melodies in these games are interpreted literally into magical powers. In Majora's Mask, the melody is used to heal a person's troubled soul, and in most cases allow them to pass on peacefully as their essence is materialized into a mask. There's a ton we could unpack right there about symbolism of a person's essence being transmuted into a mask, but maybe we can leave that for another time. This particular melody pops up a lot throughout the game, and in most cases is a backdrop to some of the most somber moments as a character is grappling with death or some unfinished task. As Link plays the character this song, it then allows them to rest peacefully, almost as a metaphor for the acceptance stage of grief, where one lets go and moves on. The game itself is even theorized to be a giant metaphor for the 5 stages of grief. In an interview with Game Informer, Eiji Aonuma was asked about this, to which he responded, "It is certainly true that each one of these different episodes or stages you talked about has a different emotional cast to it. One feels like it's tinged with sadness, and another with anger. That certainly was intentional. But I also want to point out that it's not that each one of these episodes only has the one emotion that they are trying to convey. There are certainly other notes that we're trying to hit as well. And the reason we did this is always to allow the player to experience that emotion, to give them a chance to hook into the emotional tone of this scene and react to it, and feel like they want to accomplish something in the game as a result. Because of this direct association to some of the story's most intense scenes, the Song of Healing drives itself into memory and solidifies itself as an emotionally melancholic and at the same time calming piece of music. With that, let's dive a bit deeper into the relationship this melody shares, either intentionally or unintentionally, with another extremely well-known piece of music from Ocarina of Time, Saria's Song. In Ocarina of Time, we hear a theme every time we go into the Lost Woods. The Lost Woods are a place of mystery, a maze of tree tunnels leading into forest clearings. If Link goes down the wrong path, he'll be teleported right back to the entrance of the Lost Woods in Kokiri Forest. To overcome this obstacle, Link must walk through wooded tunnels where the music theme is amplified in volume till he finally finds his way to the other side, where the sacred forest meadow lies and his closest Kokiri friend, Saria, is sitting and playing this song. The first 6 notes of the melody are taught to Link as a sign of their friendship and can be used to call Saria to ask for guidance on his quest, or to just chat with his friend when he himself may be feeling a bit lost or alone. If we pause here to draw a connection, we can see how, beyond just being a fun theme, Saria's song is a song that guides Link, who may be lost, and gives him reassurance. In much the same way the Song of Healing does the same for many characters in Majora's Mask. They may be a lost spirit with unfinished business, or a character who has been overwhelmed by restless grief, fear, or negativity. In much the same way, back in the Ocarina of Time, as the game goes on, Link uses the song he learned from Saria as a way to brighten the spirits of characters who are troubled and create friendships of his own. He first does this to cheer up Darunia, the leader of the Gorons, who is in despair seeing the Dodongo Caverns closed up by Ganondorf, which is their main food supply. He also uses it to convince Mido that he is a friend from past time to allow Link into the Sacred Forest as an adult in the future timeline. The most important time to us is when he then teaches this song to the Skull Kid as a sign of their friendship, as it directly correlates to the entire plotline of Majora's Mask. We actually do hear Saria's song in Majora's Mask to highlight the happy and playful times in Skull Kid's life, as Tattle tells the story of how they met, and again when the Skull Kid says he remembers Link teaching him that song when they met in the Lost Woods at the end of the game, confirming that this is indeed the same character from Ocarina of Time, and furthering the thematic connection of the melody of Saria's song and friendship. Majora's Mask is, in many ways, the tragic story of Skull Kid, and his struggle with loneliness and the loss of friendship. He felt abandoned by his friends, the 4 giants, and turned to playing mischievous pranks and caused trouble for the people of Termina. He was then banished by his friends from Termina, further deepening the hurt. When he then was taken over by Majora's Mask, all that despair and sadness turned into rage, as he then imprisoned his own friends in their temples, set the moon on a collision course to destroy the land of Termina, where he had experienced all the pain and suffering the abandonment caused. Given all this backstory, the Song of Healing then is a perfect summarization of that tragic story in melodic form, boiled down to the simple reversal of 6 notes. By taking the melody from Saria's song, a song that once brought joy and friendship to those who shared in its listening, and turning it upside down, we then get a song that is about the loss of belonging, the loss of self, and the loss of friendship. And yet within those notes still holds the power to heal, much as we all have the ability to grow and heal from hurt and losses that we have experienced. I hope you all enjoyed the analysis of what I believe makes the Song of Healing and many other well-written melodies so wonderful, memorable, and powerful. This video is a little bit of an experiment for me. It's the first time I've written out a script to try to explain a concept. If you do like videos like this, please let me know, and I'll be happy to do more of them in the future. Please like and subscribe below. Hit the bell for more updates whenever I post a new video. Thanks so much for listening. Bye.